All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going way beyond just learning some new facts or trivia. We're talking about upgrading the very operating system of your mind. The fundamental way you make sense of the world around you. We're going to explore how to consciously rewire the way you think.
So let me just ask you this, straight up. Is your mind running on its default settings? We all have them. These automatic, out-of-the-box ways of thinking and reacting that we rarely, if ever, stop to question. But what if you could actually choose to install a more powerful, more flexible OS? So how do we even begin an upgrade like that? Well, it all starts by understanding the fundamental engine of mental growth. And I want to be really clear here, this is not about learning more facts. It's about fundamentally changing the structure of how you process reality itself.
Now, the core concept behind this whole upgrade is called the subject-object shift. This is the engine of all vertical development. I know, it sounds a little academic, but stick with me. It's actually pretty simple. Anything that you are completely embedded in, that you are subject to, like an emotion or a core belief, can gradually become an object, something you can step back from, look at, question, and relate to. It's the move from being your beliefs to having beliefs that you can actually examine.
And this really gets to the heart of the challenge, doesn't it? Your current operating system doesn't feel like a system at all. It just feels like reality. It's just the way things are. You're looking through the lens, completely unaware that it even is a lens. The whole goal of this process is to make that lens visible.
Okay, so how do we start making that lens visible? We do it by using a specific set of cognitive tools. I want you to think of these as the diagnostic software and the killer apps for your new mental OS. We're going to break it down into 3 key types of tools. First, you've got mental models, which help you understand really complex systems. Then there's bias awareness, which helps you spot the bugs and glitches in your own thinking. And finally, polarity management, which helps you navigate those tricky challenges that don't have simple, easy answers.
So first up, mental models. Seriously, think of these as powerful apps you can install in your brain. They are these incredible, portable frameworks that help you see a situation from totally different angles, revealing hidden patterns and, honestly, leading to much, much better decisions.
Let's make this super practical. Here's a great example, a mental model called inversion. Normally, we ask ourselves, how do I succeed, right? Well, inversion flips that question completely on its head. You ask, how could I guarantee that I fail? By thinking through all the ways you could mess things up, like procrastinating, never asking for help, burning bridges, you get this crystal clear roadmap of what to avoid. It's a powerful idea because sometimes the best way to win is just not be stupid.
Next up in our toolkit, getting a handle on cognitive biases. Now, if mental models are useful apps, then biases are the predictable bugs in our mental software. They're not random mistakes. They are systematic errors in thinking that trip up literally everyone, even the smartest people you know.
And here's maybe the most famous one of all, confirmation bias. We don't see the world as it is. We tend to see it as we already believe it to be. We actively go looking for evidence that supports our views, and we conveniently ignore or explain away anything that challenges them. Just becoming aware that this bug exists is the crucial first step to fixing it.
And finally, let's look at a more advanced tool. This is for those challenges that just never seem to go away. It's called polarity management, and it's designed for tensions that you can't solve, but you have to manage. It's all about moving from an either-or mindset to a both-and way of thinking.
Just look at this classic polarity, stability versus change. If you focus only on stability, you get predictability, sure, but you also get stagnation and rigidity. But if you focus only on change, yeah, you get growth, but you also get chaos and burnout. True wisdom isn't about choosing one over the other. It's about learning how to dance between them, getting the upside of both.
So we've got these incredible tools, right? Mental models, bias awareness, polarity management. It feels like just knowing about them should be enough to change everything. But it's not. In fact, there's a huge, huge trap here that stops most people from ever actually benefiting from any of this.
And this quote just says it all perfectly. You can listen to this whole thing, nod along, feel really smart because you get these concepts, but if you don't actually put them into practice, it's just intellectual entertainment. It doesn't actually change a thing about your life.
This is what we call the collector's trap. It's the mistake of accumulating all these cool frameworks like they're trophies on a shelf. You can perfectly describe 10 cognitive biases, but then, in the heat of an argument, you're still completely run by your old automatic programming. See, understanding is not embodiment. Not even close.
So how do we escape this trap? How do we move from just collecting ideas to actually embodying them? Well, you have to build a mental gym, and you have to actually show up and do the reps. Real transformation requires consistent practice, not just passive learning.
So what does a workout in the mental gym even look like? Well, there are a few key paths you can take. First, there's the developmental path, which is all about accelerating that core subject-object shift. Second is the explorer path, which is more of a deep dive into self-knowledge, understanding your personality, and even your shadow side. And third is the practitioner path. This is direct, hands-on training where you apply these tools in real time. The key isn't which path you choose, but that you just choose one and actually start practicing.
So what's the whole point of all this practice? What's the end game? What does it even mean to have a truly upgraded mind? Well, the goal is something we call perspectival fluidity.
And see, it all comes back to this. Every single time you practice, you are strengthening the mental muscle that turns subject into object. You are slowly, deliberately taking your own automatic patterns and making them something you can see and choose rather than something that just runs you on autopilot.
And this is the result of all that work, perspectival fluidity. This is not just knowing that other viewpoints exist. It's the embodied capacity to genuinely inhabit them, to see the world through different eyes, to hold multiple, even contradictory truths at the same time without collapsing. This, right here, is the core of wisdom.
So we've covered a lot, but this isn't really an ending. It's a beginning for you. Remember that quote, knowing this stuff is just entertainment. Transformation starts with a single choice, a single action. So I'm going to leave you with this question. What one practice will you begin today?